This episode is brought to you by Forney Industries, official sponsor of Faction 46 and Nice Motorsports Truck Series teams. Forney offers versatile welding and plasma cutting machines, along with a full line of metalworking accessories for beginners, do-it-yourselfers, and professionals. Forney has everything you need for your next metalworking project. Shop for these top-of-the-line products at forneyInd.com. That's FORNEYIND.com, or at an authorized Forney dealer near you.
Hey y'all, Rick Houston here, and I want to tell you about my new show, the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast. I've partnered up with the state of North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to help uncover the history behind moonshining mountain boys, professional wheelmen, and the backwoods and city lights of the Tar Heel State. In the first episode, I sat down with Winston Kelly at the NASCAR Hall of Fame for a little behind-the-scenes gossip about Junior Johnson's engineering skills.
He's got two things in his hand, pipe wrench and channel lock pliers. And they weren't new. They had been around the block a time or two.
Wasn't the first steel they built, I bet.
No. I think the pliers had been red before, but paint had worn off.
And in the second episode, I talked to a professional hillbilly, a.k.a. Dr. Daniel Pierce of UNC Asheville, to find out the real history of moonshiners and their battles with the revenuers.
He wrote about one of his experience of trying to chase down this bootlegger in this souped-up car, and he complained that the government gave him these piece of crap, cheapo cars, and that were really no match, but he thought he was doing pretty good, and then the guy just hits it and just takes off and practically disappear. But then the guy makes a bootleg turn and comes back towards him. And as he said, it was a game of chicken, and I was a chicken. And so he ran off the road. And actually, he was the guy who caught Junior Johnson at his daddy's steel when Junior got tangled up in a barbed wire fence.
So check out the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast, available on YouTube, dailydownforce.com, and all of your favorite podcasting platforms. And be sure to check out my regular show on NASCAR history, the Scene Vault Podcast.
Hey there, NASCAR fans. Have you got your copy of the latest edition of NASCAR Pole Position Print Magazine? If not, there's no better time than now to subscribe at polepositionmag.com. NASCAR Pole Position is the only print magazine covering NASCAR. Officially licensed by NASCAR, NASCAR Pole Position Magazine is published throughout the NASCAR season, and each edition is an instant collector's item, packed with great feature stories and photography. The magazine is even mailed to you in a poly bag for those who love to collect NASCAR memorabilia. At polepositionmag.com, you can even find past issues available to purchase. Get your subscription to NASCAR Pole Position and get great NASCAR content delivered straight to your mailbox throughout the season. Learn more at polepositionmag.com. That's polepositionmag.com.
Eric Estep here. One of my favorite parts of being a NASCAR fan is collecting diecasts. It's how I got my start on YouTube, actually. To me, a room is not complete until it features shelves of NASCAR diecast cars. It's as good a time as ever to continue your collection or begin an all-new one by pre-ordering your favorite driver's 2022 next-gen diecast at LionelRacing.com or at any authorized Lionel retailer. Lionel is the official diecast of NASCAR, and don't miss Lionel Racing's NASCAR Authentics diecasts at a Walmart or Target near you. Not only is Lionel the official diecast of NASCAR, but they're also official supporters of the Out of the Groove podcast network. So what are you waiting for? Head to LionelRacing.com to order your favorite driver's 2022 diecast.
You're listening to Maiden Level Cross, presented by Pristine Auction. I'm Thad Moffitt.
And I'm Rowland George.
And today we have a very special guest joining us. It's my little brother, Mom and Dad's favorite. Here's your mom.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Harrison, thanks for joining us today, man.
I don't know how special a guest you are, though.
Yeah.
Everybody loves me. Everybody loves me.
Maybe it's just habit.
What's it like being this guy's younger brother? I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm going to get a little sentimental, but, I mean, it's like having a role model that always pushed you to be better. And, I mean, I can't ask for a better big brother. Always there to do everything I ask him to do. I mean,
He's never said that in his life until you just ask him that.
I feel like I should have been straight up.
What kind of flabbergasted? I don't know. I thought he was going to say something really fresh and funny. Well, that's good. So I got some questions for you. I mean, you're more than welcome to ask. This is your podcast, but I thought I'd like spring some questions on Harrison. You can react to them because it's not often that, you know, a driver can have his brother on the podcast. Like, how many instances do you know of that, right?
I don't.
Not much. So I'll start off real quick by saying Harrison's probably the most funny person I've met here. It's hard keeping a straight face having him on the podcast right now, but love having him around. So I guess the first question, you know, you said your mom, and he said he was mom and dad's favorite.
Yeah,
For sure,
absolutely.
For sure, moms.
What do you most admire about your mom and dad, Harrison?
Mom and dad, I don't know how to explain it. They're always there. I mean, they take care of us through everything, through thick and thin. They take care of their whole entire family, both sides of their family. So, I mean, I don't know how to explain mom and dad. They're different than any other mom and dad I know. So, y'all know that.
Yeah, their work ethic is really cool, and how good they still get along after they've been married and been empty nesters, and then back to having Harrison in the house for a little bit. But just something I strive for in my life is to just live a life as full as theirs. I mean, they wake up happy and they do what they love to do every day, and they work really hard at it, and they've made a good life for us for sure, and we're greatly appreciative of it.
B. Moffitt doesn't always stay happy. He gets a little aggravation, as we like to call it. Aggravation. Instead of aggravated.
If that's what you like to call it. It gets a little scary sometimes. So for people who, we said he's Dad's brother, but Harrison, you're the runt of the litter.
The runt?
The runt, right?
No,
the runt?
We're still having grandkids. There's like 4 grandkids after you.
Oh, yeah,
now.
I'm the original, though.
You were the...
I'm the OG.
He was the youngest grandkid.
Let's rewind. I'm talking about the Moffitt family.
Oh, yeah, you're the youngest.
He's the youngest. Cause people may not realize that, you know, a lot of people, I think, even if they're aware of Harrison, I think sometimes people think that you're the youngest and that Harrison's your older brother, but it's... Talk about the family. Who's in the family? Just so people can.
This is actually crazy. I just had to bring this up.
Go ahead.
We're talking about this. At his press release, this was the first time this ever happened because he's got the red hair, the pasty skin, and I'm like dark hair, tan, whatever. And this lady walked up that was a big fan of Thad's, and she walked up to me, and her husband was like, "Now, are you Thad?" And that's the first time somebody's got us confused. They were like, they thought I was Thad, and I was like, amazed.
And when they learned you weren't, they were massively disappointed, right?
No, they wanted to shake my hand, get my autograph, and everything. They were like,
"Yeah, I was there. I remember seeing you on
it. Was this weekend?
No, at the press conference. Remember that person asked you for your autograph?
Yeah. Marco. Yeah, he's a good guy. I know him. I was just messing with him whenever I said, "You want my autograph?" And he was like, "Sure, man."
I thought that was a legitimate fan. Yes, really.
You got it written on your forehead, gullible.
Yeah, when I get to talking to both of you, you entrap me. It's like a snare. I'm this helpless animal when the Moffitt brothers get together.
So our family is Bride and Rebecca is my mom and dad. We have an older sister that really has nothing to do with racing named Helen. She lives in Huntersville or something.
It's up there.
Yeah, she's up there doing her thing. And then it's me and my younger brother, Harrison, flies planes and works at Petty's Garage part-time. So
let's talk about that because that's what
trying to fly planes.
I love that about you because that's my background before I got into automotive was aviation. That was where I went to school.
It's kind of like we traded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What made you fall in love with flight?
It was actually just an idea. So I went and I played a semester of college football. Hated college football. Nothing like high school football. It was nothing like football just in general. Completely changed my love for the game. And I came home after that, went to RCC, it's a local community college, and walked in. I was working here like part-time too, like I do now. And I walked in, and it was whenever the Burts had their Honda Jet, some family friends, and Grandpa was taking it, and they couldn't find a pilot. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So Grandpa was like, hey, man, why don't you go get your pilot's license? So I was like, not a bad idea. And got in contact with one of his old pilots, Mikey, and he took me up in one of his aerobatic planes, and we were doing flips and rolls. And flight training was nothing like that, but I think that's what made me fall in love with it. Going up there, going balls to the wall, doing some crazy stuff. That's definitely what made me fall in love with it, living life on the edge.
You got all your ratings too, right?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Besides, like, I'm looking for a tailwheel endorsement. So anybody listening to this, reach out to me so I can get a tailwheel endorsement so I can go tow some banners, get some hours.
I know a guy in Long Island, but it's a little bit of a drive, yeah.
I've moved along. I don't know if I could live up there with
We'll
people
talk
like
about
you.
that afterwards. People like me. Let me tell you guys something too. Based on that egregious comment you just made about the North, right? I get so much crap from being up north from down here. It's offensive, okay?
Okay.
A lot of your listeners probably it's deserved. Here's how I shut people, and this is going to be very controversial on your podcast. I just tell people who tell me a Yankee and your dad's famous, like, yeah, that's a Yankee saying, or we beat your guys' butt, okay? We won the war. Case closed. Shut your pie holes. I'm here anymore, right?
I'm crazy.
We're a bunch of sore losers. That's why we do it.
Sore losers. That's right. All right. Anyway, let's not dwell on that. So, yeah, flight, I think that's awesome. I think it's really cool that you're going fast on the track, and he's going pretty much almost the same speed up there.
The little archers, the little archers here soon. I'll be going way
Dude,
faster.
that kind of blew my mind
faster.
when we had that conversation for the first time, and Harrison was like, yeah, I'll take off at like 80 knots. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I'm going like twice as fast as you into turn 3 at Daytona trying to keep my car on the ground. Yeah. And you're like taking off in there, like what?
I mean, even cruise speed. I mean, in the multi, it's a bit faster, but like in that single engine stuff, our cruise speed would be like 110.
Yeah.
I mean, 110 knots is like equivalent to like 130 miles per hour, probably. I'm not sure of the math there, but like knots is like one knot is like 1.2 or something like that.
Yeah. Sounds about right. So here's something that when I first started here, what I learned from a couple of family members. So, Thad, you obviously went the race car route, but Harrison actually drove a little bit too. Talk to us about that. What got you into that besides the obvious reasons that you guys are Richard's grandsons and, what got you into racing?
Me and the go-kart, dog. Straight up dog. So I raced quarter midgets in Salisbury. We both bought Mom and Dad bought us some quarter midgets. Dad was a little bit too big for a quarter midget at the time. Dad was a chubby little kid. But so I went and I raced quarter midgets in Salisbury whenever Thad went and raced these dirt like flat carts, but Mom didn't want one, the flat carts, so she did the champ buggies. Is that what they were called?
Yeah.
Champ buggies that had a roll cage on them because she was scared of flipping and stuff like that. Mom wouldn't let them race just a normal flat cart. And so I did that for maybe a year and a half, and then I like kept growing and everything. Eventually I got too big for the quarter midget, so I moved up to the flat carts, and then Thad went on to late models. But once I got into those flat carts, I mean, it was like 2 races every night, 20-lap races, and I mean, we would come home with at least one win every weekend. I'd win at least one of those races. Not necessarily at like Liberty, but Liberty's kind of like Daytona. I'll describe it as like Daytona. If you're in the lead, coming to the last 5 laps, you're getting passed. You ain't winning the race. But what got me into it was, I guess, just my grandpa. I mean, Dad was definitely way more into it than I was. It was probably his idea to even get the quarter midgets in the first place, asking Mom and Dad. But, I mean, they were like, I was so young, I didn't really care. I was like, I'll do it if Dad's doing it. It's my big brother. So I'd say Dad really is the one that got me into it.
And for people, how much older are you than Harrison?
2.5 years.
2.5 years, you?
Yeah. Oh. So it's kind of like every time I took a step up, Harrison took a step up. Yeah. And then I got to racing some ARCA stuff, and Harrison came and run a late model.
Oh, yeah.
One time.
Oh, yeah.
And he was doing pretty good. We were at Myrtle Beach, and he was running like the Challenger class.
Limited late model.
Limited late model. And I was running a late model stock race. And Harrison was like pretty good in practice, like second or third or something, his first time ever. And then he didn't make it much past practice. He wrecked.
No, I made it qualifying.
Oh, qualifying. He was in qualifying, and he backed it in the fence like really, really hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like
the car was totaled.
Went into turn one, and like Grumpy was my spot me, and I mean he was just so excited that I was doing so good. He was like, just drive it deeper in there, because I mean I'd never been to Myrtle Beach. It was my first time, and we were gonna go just practice and race and everything. And he was like, just drive it a little deeper into one. So came around the corner, and I did what he told me. And then I went to like save it, and sway board just unloaded, took off straight into the wall.
And it was at the end, I mean, of your racing deal?
No, I went back to racing go-karts, but I mean, I couldn't just quit football. I loved football at the time. And Dad, I mean, gave up 10th grade after JV football. Whenever it was time for him to move up to varsity, he said the heck with school, went all online. And because, I mean, with the late model deal, he'd leave Wednesday, wouldn't come back till Monday. So I couldn't do that because I wanted to play football on Friday nights. So I'd still race those flat carts every weekend. Yep. Up until halfway through my senior year.
That's that's the conversation we had earlier. Like, whenever you asked me about playing sports and stuff and getting into racing, like there come a point in both of our lives where we had to like choose, and I went full racing, and Harrison decided he wanted to like
he just wasn't as good as me at football. That's what it was.
He just decided that he wanted to play football and still do like the go-kart thing. And so he still like got the opportunity to race a little bit, but it wasn't like as serious as what I did. And then the late model stuff, I was like, dude, why don't you just come run a late model race? It was like every time I moved up, he moved up. And so like I wrapped the car and everything for his first race. I came and got him fitted for his belts. And it was I think we rode down. I drove you down there.
I'm sure you probably did.
And
probably slept the whole way.
Then it didn't go so. It was going good, and then it didn't go so great at the end of it. And that was like the last time I think that you drove a late model car.
I remember the first time I did. We went to Caraway, just open practice. It was like both of us were just running laps, and I mean I probably ran like 90 laps, and I got out of that car, and I had no idea how like brutal it was on your body. Like I got out of the car, and I mean I was like string bean. Like I was a fit dude. Definitely. Like, I mean, I played football, lifted weights all the time and everything like that. And I got out of that car, and I mean, I was like about to pass out. Had me a little woozy.
So who's the better driver? There's opinions in the shop. You probably don't know that, but.
Well, I've definitely won more go-kart races, but whenever it comes to hitting the lines, we get on the iRacing, Dad. I go in there and I beat his time once, and it fires him up, and he gets that little competitive edge, and he beats me by like 2/10, and there's no way I'm catching him. So, in my opinion, Thad with like just lap times, I mean, everything hitting his marks every time is definitely Thad.
Do you agree?
Yeah, but on the road, dude, I can't drive at all.
On the road.
Dude, I'm the worst street car driver.
He's scary.
Like, just because, like, I just assume everybody's as good, like, or just knows what's going on as much as I do. And, like, I'll just run up on them, you know, and change lanes with no turn signal. And
say we're driving here, we're pulling the trailer, petty garage trailer from here to Charlotte, pick up something or whatever. I grab the old shit handle at least 2 or 3 times on the way up there.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, he's tired, he's worn out, so I'm grabbing at least 4 or 5 on the way back.
I hope the state of North Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles is listening to this to investigate.
I would say, but the racing stuff, Harrison had a little more success than me in the go-kart stuff for sure. But
there's a lot of trophies in that
a lot of
garage.
Checks. That's the greatest part about it too. Mom and Dad would pay for my entry fee, and then I'd win the race. I'd keep all the winnings.
I thought you said checks.
Checks.
Oh, the checks. Yeah, that's what the
I only go-kart raced for like a year.
What about
year
the
and
chicks?
A half. Like
the chicks?
The chicks.
Oh, you didn't want to pick up a chick from the go-kart.
No, dude. Not the places we were racing.
Not the places we were racing.
Yeah, but I only did it for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. How long did you go-kart race? Like 6 years?
Yeah. 5 probably. Yeah. 5, yeah. Yeah, and like I said, he mostly ran Liberty, and I mean, Liberty was honestly like, if you were leading the race first or second, you were finishing.
Yeah, my very first go-kart race, I was led 19 out of 20 laps, got wrecked coming to the checkered flag.
That's how it was. That's how it was at Liberty. I maybe only won like one race at Liberty just because I would always be sitting in second place. There'd still be like 10 laps left, and I'd just be like jittery. I'd be like, I'm faster than this dude. I'm going to pass him now. And then it would just come back to bite me in the ass.
Guys, your mom and dad, if you guys have some video to post on the channels.
I got some go-kart videos.
I think people would like to, same with Harrison, I think people would like to see
We went to
see that.
We went to Party Shack probably 2 weeks ago, maybe a little more.
We went to K1 Speed.
Yeah, but I kicked your ass at Party Shack. You beat me at K1 Speed.
Well,
So I was going to talk about Party Shack.
Because Party Shack was like, do you know those go-karts that you just run wide open?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like whoever has the best go-kart or whatever, you don't have to lift. That was Party Shack. Then we went to K1 Speed, and we had to brake and like all that stuff.
We went with a couple of our buddies, too. They went with us, and I mean, Chandler, we call him our adopted brother. Mm-hmm. He finished dead last every single time.
Like several seconds off the pace. And it was, yeah. It was entertaining.
So, Harrison, if you're not aware, podcast is called Maiden Level Cross.
I'm aware. I'll follow you. I'll follow you on Spotify.
Good. You hear that, folks? Do what Harrison does. We like to talk about what makes people special that, come to Level Cross, work here. And, those principles, they traverse everywhere in the U.S., but there's something special about Level Cross. And something that I wanted to bring up between you two was a very special lady. That was your grandmother, Linda. Can you tell me what you remember about her? Because I hear a lot of great stories and love that was there and admiration. So what do you remember about your grandma?
Grandma was definitely tough. She passed away whenever I was 9 years old, so I don't have as many memories as all the other grandkids for sure. But I just remember her always being tough. Tough love is definitely what I would describe it, tough love, because she loved you to death, but she wasn't scared to be tough on you. I remember that. I remember this plain as day. Grandpa, we would be wrestling, and Grandpa he'd get you down on your hands or on your back, and he'd put his knees right on your arms, and he'd bend over, and he would have a dip in too on top of all this. And he would do like like whenever you have this spit,
yeah,
and he'd like slurp it down and slurp it back up. And he'd be doing that to me, and I'd be screaming for Grandma, and all Grandma would say was, "Harrison, quit picking on Grandpa." And I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Every time, dude. Every time she was like, "Y'all quit picking on him."
Yeah.
And but yeah, I would say the older my mom gets, the more I see like my grandma in her.
For sure.
I would say that. But my grandma was definitely a big influence on everything that we did, because Grandpa was a race car driver first and foremost, and then a dad. Mm-hmm. And he said that to my grandma to get started. He was like, racing's always going to be number one, but if you try really, really hard, you might be number two. That's what he told Grandma, and she still said yes. But I think that like her job was to keep us all in line and to be the glue in the family, and to she was definitely what held the whole family together and what made sure that we were here at a certain time and did what we were supposed to do. That was Grandma. That was everything that she did, was to make sure that everybody else was taken care of first.
She's definitely the ringleader.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so she definitely had a big influence on my life and what I still do to this day. And we miss her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll be riding along with you all season on your fire suit. So rest in peace to Miss Linda. Definitely had a huge impact with the family. Let's talk about you two in respect to, did you ever have a fight, worst fight you can think of? Or
we were brothers. Like, yeah, we hit each
Yeah,
other in the
course,
face. I mean, what do you mean?
That's expected, but
we
did
used
you ever
to-
have a really vicious fight where you guys
we
really got mad
never
at each
really
other?
hold a grudge over each other.
Okay.
We would beat the crap out of each other,
Yeah.
and then like whoever won the fight, we would pick the other one up off the ground and go inside.
Well, the thing is that Thad used to win all the fights because he was bigger than me. And then as soon as I got maybe an inch taller than him, he stopped messing with me.
Game over.
He stopped messing with me. But Thad also, he's a guy that, I mean, he can sit there and push his buttons. He'll take it until finally he snaps, and then you better get out the way. That's how he is.
So we got to
Still to
do
this
that in
day.
the track, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, our biggest fights when we were like kids, we would like play sports in the yards with our friends or something, and it would be like over some stupid rule or like whether it was
basketball in the barn,
whether it was a foul or not, and then we would end up like punching each other in the face, and then it was like, all right,
that's that. Let's get back to playing.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, that's pretty much how. I assume that's how most brother relationships are. I don't know. I mean,
I got a brother. I had a really bad fight with him, but it's like you said, we just picked each other up. But
we had a bunch of really bad fights, though. I mean, not really bad. It wasn't like I wouldn't talk to him for like a week, but maybe like 2-3 hours, and then after that, it's like all was forgotten, all was forgiven.
Yeah. Now my sister, dude.
Oh God.
Oh my God! If you got in a fight with her, it was like World War was going on in the house.
And it was awful between Thad and Helen. Like they used to get in like fist fights, like over the front seat, and I'd be in the back seat, and I'd be like, "What the hell are y'all doing? Just get in the car,
dude." I'm telling you, the fights with Helen were like unmatched. Yeah. She wanted to fight about everything. Yeah. And
I'm a lot different than them. I'm more like laid back, just go with the flow, take your time, dude. I'm a lot different than Thad and Helen.
Well, that's good.
Why is that good?
Because I said so. Listen, let's talk about your favorite quality about Harrison.
It's my smile.
I want to see this guy cry at the end of this.
No, I think that my favorite quality about Harrison is that he's just, like he just said, his don't give up attitude. Like his, I don't care what happens, I just want something to happen attitude. And I think that it's pretty cool to wake up every day and he's not worried about anything. Like he just, I mean, he might be now the older he gets, but just our whole childhood, like he was never worried about what was going to happen or where we were going, or like even if mom was like, it's a surprise, and me and Helen are like, where are we going? What are we doing? Harrison didn't care. As long as he was like,
she said it was a surprise. Just wait on the surprise.
That was his quality. That was what he did. And I mean, it's kind of the same way my grandpa is. Every time throughout the years that they kind of got in trouble over here at the race team, his answer was always, it'll work itself out or it won't. And, I mean, that's kind of the same way Harrison looks at life, and I think that's pretty cool. That's probably his best quality and one I wish I had, where I wasn't worried about everything all day, every day, that either it's going to happen or it's going to work itself out or it won't, and then I'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. What about you, Harrison? What's your favorite quality about Thad?
I'd say Thad's grit. Definitely his grit. I mean, especially with his racing career. This is his first real shot. I think so. First real shot where he has an opportunity to make something special out of his career, and he's fought for it. I mean, he's went up, he's went back down, he's went up, went back down multiple times, and he just hasn't gave up. So right now, that's my favorite thing about him.
Good stuff.
Eugene, what is your favorite thing? You've known us for a year, 12 months apiece.
My favorite thing about each one of you?
Yeah.
All right. We'll start with Harrison.
You haven't answered any questions this whole time, dude.
Harrison, besides the fact that we share a lot of similarities with aviation, I love talking to him about that. The thing I love about both of you guys and the family in general, you guys are the most authentic, caring, and you guys are the type of people that if I was broke down 4 hours away, you'd come out and get me. But with Harrison, you make me laugh every time I see you. It don't matter what it is. I mean, I think that's a rare quality in a lot of people. And you can say people are funny, but if I can just look at somebody and just start laughing, I mean,
he's saying you look goofy.
No,
you look goofy as hell, man.
No, that's what it is. I'm just a funny guy, comedian. I'm a
funny guy.
I'm gonna try stand-up comedy.
I mean, the little gang, I call it the Moffitt Mafia. It's like out of a movie. It's like
Harrison, growing up, you were never a jokester. Like
that's what it's crazy.
That's what everybody always says. Like now, everybody always says Harrison's so funny, but like they were like, we would all be hanging out playing 2K or whatever, and they would want me to start telling jokes because I was funny.
Mom calls Thad her laughter child. That's what she calls that.
But I'm so serious. Like the older I get, when I come to work, it's like to work, and then I goof off.
Whenever Thad gets around me and Chandler are very big instigators. We think something's funny, and then we don't want to do it, so we get Thad to do it, and that's when it's really funny.
No, I mean that. I think anytime I say something, he instigates it, and then I don't have a comeback. I just something flat out.
Very big instigators, yeah.
So that was you for Thad. I was just because Raja just got a ride, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to paraphrase what this guy said. I forget who he was. I don't know if it's his car chief or crew chief, but in a bottle, he said, "I've never met anybody who I want to work for or root for, support more than this guy." That is that guy. You're that guy. I've never had more confidence.
That. You're him.
I try, man.
You're him.
You are. I got more confidence in you about what you're going to do on track this year than probably anybody here. Probably more than your dad, too. I'm going to call him out. I got so much faith in you just because of who you are, the way you interact with just anybody. You don't change. And from a fan's perspective, just from a person's perspective, that to me gets you through life more than anything else, being real. And that's what you are. That's what both of you are. You guys are real people. You treat people with respect, and you're hardworking. So now it's getting too mushy here.
That's the golden rule right there.
Yeah,
that's the way we were raised. Golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep. And I definitely see it from your parents. I mean, your mom and dad. It's an honor to work for them, and I feel like I'm part of the family. So
that's how you're supposed to feel if you work in level cross.
Well, I will say that, ask anybody who's worked for your grandfather, for your great-grandfather. I mean, you just had that, what is it, the anniversary, or what you call it, the get-together you guys have every December.
Christmas party?
Not the Christmas party, you know what I'm talking about. The employee, the annual employee get-together.
Yeah.
There's not one person that said, I had such a miserable time. Mm-hmm. There were some hard times.
The ones that didn't enjoy it probably wouldn't come back, right? And eat dinner here, in all fairness.
I guess. I don't know. I just, when the majority of people say, I enjoyed working here more than any place else in my entire life, that speaks volumes, and it still continues that way.
What gets me the most about the people that come is that they haven't worked here in 40-plus years, and they still have the attachment to Level Cross and to the Petty family because of their experience here. So I think that's what probably stands out to me the most about that.
Oh, John Hayworth was here, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I didn't come this year, but I mean,
John helped Harrison get started.
He's the one that got us started pretty much.
Yeah.
Dad started in the quarter midgets out there in the parking lot too.
Yeah,
John was here.
I told somebody that story, and they didn't believe me, that me and you raced each other in the front parking lot.
And I won.
And that was...
I'm just kidding. I don't know if I won or not. I think it was more like time trials.
We can say you won, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For the record, Harrison won that race.
Yeah, Harrison spun out like twice.
Because I was getting after it. It's getting better.
Kept spinning out.
Next week's Valentine's Day. What are you guys doing? Well, I know what you're doing. What are you doing?
I'm going to Daytona for Valentine's Day for my love for racing.
I'll probably spend the day at the golf course, or just messing with you. I don't know yet. I ain't made up my mind. I don't have no significant other.
No,
so.
He'll be on the way to Daytona with me.
Oh,
I would interrupt his and Caitlin's Valentine's Day, being the third person in the car.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop at every Buc-ee's we see along
Boosie's.
I don't think that's the way you say it.
That is the way you say it. We just stopped at. We went down to. I don't even know how you say this one. Pompano Beach. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. We stopped at the Daytona Boosie's twice. They got a jerky bar in there.
They do.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some beef jerky.
Was it like your first time going there?
Yeah, that was my first time at Boosie's.
What is with everybody down here? Here's another thing about working here. Nobody's been to Buc-ee's whenever I talk about it.
Well, you have to understand, dude. It's really inconvenient to stop at a Buc-ee's when there's 8,000 people in the store. He just said
you're going at the wrong time, man.
No, he said when they stopped at 2:00 in the morning, no problem.
Yeah.
When they stopped on the way home, middle of the day, it was like a 45-minute stop.
Well, no bleep, Sherlock. 2 in the morning, yeah, there's not going to be anybody there.
2 in the morning, we hung out in there, too, because we didn't have to be – we were like 3 hours away, and we didn't have to be there till like 9 a.m.
Was the beaver there? Did you see the beaver?
Nah. He was probably taking a nap or something. It was 2:00 in the morning. But
we did get some beaver nuggets. Somebody brought home beaver nuggets that tasted like a cinnamon
That's
flavor.
Not what you were calling them the other night.
What about brisket? Did you get any brisket?
We got the brisket sandwich on the way coming back home. It was pretty good. It was busting.
Well, we went to Mecum.
Boosie's.
I didn't know what that. Here's another thing about Harrison. Not so much for you, but remember when Alex worked here? Harrison and Alex would drop all these. What are you, a Gen Zer? Is that what you call yourself?
I don't even
I
know
feel
what
so
those things
freaking
are.
old talking to him
Well,
sometimes.
you should. You are old.
They what was the thing? No cap. I had no clue what that meant.
No cap.
And then busting.
That's just being goofy. I don't actually talk like that. I just do it just.
What would Alex say?
Alex would just probably feed right into it.
Alex was saying like he had like some slang that he would throw out.
Well,
there.
Alex was from up north too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was from
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I ask that. I'm starting to ask that at the end of every podcast. You got any pearls of wisdom for everyone out there? Because we're definitely having you back.
Do you have any pearls of wisdom, Harrison?
Every day, get better. If you ain't getting better, what are you doing?
That's true.
That's pretty much it. I'm Thad's personal trainer now, and every day we go out there and we just get better. You got to want to get better every day.
I lost a bet to Harrison.
He did.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
He did. $10 richer.
2 days ago, I was like about done with my workout, and I was like, dude, I'm in pretty good shape. I bet you I can run a 6.5 minute mile.
And I was like, hell no, you can't.
And Harrison said, dude, there's no way you can run a 6.5 minute mile. He's like, I won't believe it until I see it. So we went to the local high school, and Harrison says this is an excuse, but I did just work out for an hour straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts the timer, lap 1. Minute.
I didn't say it was an excuse. You were saying it was as an excuse.
Minute and 30 seconds. I ran.
First lap.
Yeah. And then I slowed down a little bit.
He pushed it too hard on the first lap.
And then I slowed down a little bit. I ran like a 6 minute and 48 second mile.
And he's like, oh, I'm only 18 seconds off. I was like, you still didn't do it. You still didn't do it.
Absolute trash, man.
18 seconds off. You still didn't run a 6.5 minute.
Trash.
Yep.
So we're trying again Monday.
We'll try again next week.
Are you Dave Goggins to Thad? You know Dave
Yeah,
Goggins?
he's like yelling at me. I'm running around the track, dude, like can't hardly breathe, trying to run a 6.5 minute mile.
Like, damn, that's a second place right there.
Yeah.
That's second place.
He's like, if you lose Daytona, it's because you couldn't run a 6.5 minute mile.
Are you running next to him the whole time?
No, he's standing in the middle watching me.
I took my dog. I had him on a leash. He was running around in circles. I was just standing there holding the leash.
What kind of dog you got?
Little wiener dog. Come on, man.
Oh, that dachshund?
Yeah, long-haired Dachshund. But the funny thing about him is we get him shaved. So we got him cut right now as like a line. So he's got like his whole body shaved. His hairs are still his paws are still hairy. And then he's got a ball on his tail. He's got a lime mane. And then we got this one, I call it the Frank Hulk, because he's got a mohawk all the way down his back, shaved all the way down his back, just one little mohawk.
He really does. It's a fact.
You're disturbed, man.
He loves it.
He loves it. Well, you want to stick around for the other half?
Not if y'all don't need me. I'll go suck up some leaves. Uncle Mark.
He did that yesterday. Where were you?
I was at the golf course.
Yeah, that's right. Do you want him on the other half?
I don't care.
You're on the other half.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is the part where we break for commercials, so let's do that.
We'll be right back. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Pristine Auction is the most trusted sports memorabilia and collectibles auction site. Auctions on pristineauction.com start at just $1. And each day, thousands of signed items are available, so you win signed authentic items at affordable prices. Every item on pristineauction.com comes with a certificate of authenticity from the industry's most reputable authenticators.
PristineAuction.com is your one-stop shop for all authentic signed die-casts, helmets, trading cards, photos, and so much more of your favorite drivers. I got my eye on a Dale Earnhardt Sr. signed NASCAR leather jacket on the Pristine Auction. Might be a little bit controversial with the 2 7-time champions, but I think it's a pretty sweet-looking jacket.
It sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Right there.
Oh, yeah, I'd rock that.
Yeah, it's a cool jacket.
Well, Thad, I'm looking at something you would love. Taylor Swift signed guitar.
I think it'd be sick if Travis Kelce was on there too. Like if they did both.
Listen, if you get a pristineauction.com, you bid on it, and you win it, you can go to the Super Bowl if you got like $15,000. Ask them to sign it. What do you got, Harrison? What are you looking at?
I got a John Daly picture, signed John Daly picture of him blasting a cig in American flag paints. I mean,
Hell
don't get much
yeah.
more American than that.
Upgrade your collection today and get $10 off your first win using registration code THAD. Again, that's registration code THAD for $10 off your first order. Links are in the show notes.
For you, it's all about going further, faster. For them, it's about helping you achieve it. That's why at Customers Bank, they combine the best of technology with a deeply human touch. They offer a wide range of innovative banking solutions backed by outstanding personal service, giving their customers the edge they need to take on tomorrow. Take the lead with Customers Bank. Learn more at go.customersbank.com/NASCAR. Induction Innovations is the leader in American-made handheld induction heaters. Home to the original Mini Ductor for over 20 years, they've been innovating how mechanics can tackle challenges like Loctite, rust, and so much more. Induction Innovations Mini Ductor series was meant to free up components quickly using induction heat. The Mini Ductor is designed to help techs cut down on ticket times and say, forget that torch. Induction Innovations. Do it faster, do it better, do it safer. Visit inductor.com to learn more.
All right, we're back. As they say in TV land, Harrison is still with us. We cannot get rid of him.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, y'all. I said I would leave. Y'all told me to stay. I think y'all might.
You are ruining the illusion right now.
I think y'all might have a crush on me. I'm not gonna let y'all throw me under the bus,
dude. If I'm driving that bus, you're getting run over.
All right, I'll remember that.
Okay, so next week.
Yep.
It's the big one.
Yeah.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. D-Day.
I don't think you can say that. I know all the fans and everything, but to win at Daytona, I think Daytona's just luck. Daytona's luck.
Listen, Thad's going to win Daytona.
Daytona.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Faction 46, Doug George, we're all prepared. We've been preparing for 6 months for this day.
Yep. We're going to get lean, blitzed in victory lane.
I think that we have as good a shot as anybody going down there, and I think that's fair to say. I mean, obviously, Grant, Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, all these guys have won races there. They've run in their career 18 times the amount of races that I've run, but I don't see why I couldn't beat them at Daytona. I don't see why I couldn't beat them at Atlanta. I think that we have a good shot. We're prepared. We're ahead of the game. I have a bunch of knowledge in my crew chief, Doug George, and our engineers there at Nice Motorsports, and everybody we have to lean on with Phil Gould, Mike Hillman. I mean, we have all the resources we need finally for the first time in my career. So going into Daytona, I'm just excited to get there, man. Get there and get started. It's been – when did we sign this deal? 3 months ago? It's been 3 months too long. It's been 3 months too long with no racing. And so I'm excited to get this deal started and start racing at Daytona and then go from there to Atlanta to Vegas. And Vegas happens to be a track that I took a liking to the first time I ever ran there. I think I had a fuel pump go bad, so the results were not there, obviously, but it's a really fun racetrack, really rough, but you can run the wall, you can run the bottom. So these first three are kind of going to set the tone for the year, and I think me and Doug and Lane, obviously, team owner, we're all ready to go shut them all up, right?
That's it.
It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and then have you decided, has there been any meetings? I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but is Bailey and Matt, you got a plan to work with them, or are you just, I'm going to the front and that's it?
So I think that
has it been discussed? I should ask.
Yeah, I mean it's obvious. It's obvious, elephant in the room, right? That you're going to work with your teammates always. Well, I guess it's not an elephant in the room. I guess that's just how it's supposed to be. But there's 35 other cars out there. You know what I mean? You know how hard it is for me to get with one particular person. Now, if we qualify well and we're all kind of in the same area, it makes it a lot easier to do it. But if Bailey's starting 4th and I'm starting 24th, you know how hard it is to get linked up throughout the course of a race when you got 20 cars in between you. So it's just kind of one of those things. Obviously, if Bailey and Matt are there and the 45, that's who I'm going to work with. I'm going to push them. Obviously, if it's a Chevy or a Ford on the inside lane, I'll push a Chevy. I mean, that's what we discussed at our team meeting last week. And at the end of the day, if somebody's pushing me and I'm the one out front, that's ideal, right? So I think we just need to put ourselves in a situation where we try to get to the front, whether it's with our teammates or without our teammates. We're all trying to go to the front, and everybody likes to run those races a little differently. But me and Doug think that, the safest place to be is in front of everybody. So
can't argue that.
I love that when you said Doug was like, we're heading to the front.
Everybody else I've worked with some crew chiefs, quite a few crew chiefs over the years, and like depending on where I qualify, they kind of change their tone. They'll be like, we'll qualify towards the back, and they'll be like, all right, we're just going to bail out and go to the back. We're just going to hang out until the end of the day and hope that everybody else wrecks and we drive through. And then I've had ones where, like I sat on the front row at Daytona, and our goal was to lead every lap, right? So it's like, it just changes. It's a difficult thing to get everybody on the same page. But when Doug was like, dude, my motto is go as hard as you can. If you wreck, at least you're on the TV when you wreck and not way in the back driving into it. And I was like, okay, I'm 100% good with that.
Going back to like him talking about working together with people, I don't know if they do this, but like in go-karts, wherever I would qualify, the person in front of me or behind me would come up to me just to the trailer and start talking to me and be like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Do they still do that at your level?
It depends. Yeah. I would say like in the ARCA stuff they did for sure. Obviously, if, like I said, you have the manufacturers too, right? So like if it's a Ford in front of me, they're not going to come over and talk to me because they could care less because they know I'm not going to help them, right? Or if it's a Toyota, it's the same way. Because, like, our allegiance is to Chevy. Our allegiance first is the faction, then to Nice, then to Chevy, right? So that's, like, who I need to work with to ensure that if I don't win, my team wins. And then if my team doesn't win, at least my manufacturer wins.
Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, at least somebody's happy.
Hopefully it's us.
Heck yeah, man. You going to look out for Christian Eckes, your favorite driver out there?
He's a Team Chevy driver. I'll push him, but
don't be bashful. People don't know. Christian is Thad's favorite Truck Series driver.
Dude, this guy is crazy.
He loves him. He's got a picture he put a picture of him in my office.
This guy made this up. He made all of this up.
Harrison, go to my office.
I've seen the picture.
Yeah, he did that.
Dude, I parked my camper at VIR.
And he put a Christian Eckes sticker on
and he sent me, he photoshopped like Christian's face on the side of my truck.
You're a weird guy, Roland.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
No, you know what's weird? You accusing me of doing that crap. I would never do that.
Okay, if you go look at my Instagram, there is no Christian Eckes sticker.
Because you took that picture down. You photoshopped the crap without it.
Dude, you're crazy.
You want to introduce me to Christian when you're down there?
I will.
Okay.
You see, he's a big Christian Eckes fan. He's the one that was like, he's the Christian Eckes fan. I swear.
Who are you? Like, who's your guy?
He's a Ty Dillon fan. So like,
I like
dude,
Ty Dillon.
When we go to Daytona, he's like cheering for me like 5% and cheering for the rest of the field like 95%. That is a fact.
That's not a fact. I'm cheering for that 100%.
He like Noah Gregson. Oh my God, this guy.
Listen, if Noah's racing against him in the trucks, Noah's got my vote. Like full blown.
It's pretty messed up.
It's not messed up.
I think it's messed up.
It's being truthful.
Who's your favorite Xfinity Series driver now?
God, I don't know.
Who did you have winning the Clash?
Ryan Preece.
Ryan Preece.
That didn't work out so well.
No, it did not.
But you didn't have anybody. You and Mark.
I didn't even watch. I was driving. I was on the road whenever they raced.
This is a controversial opinion. I did not like that race. I agree with Dale Jr. wholeheartedly. We should bring back Speed Weeks to Daytona. I remember growing up, I got really excited about Speed Weeks.
I don't know, man. Speed Weeks is cool. We grew up the 2 weeks at Daytona. I'm not a big fan of the Clash. I understand what they're trying to do and draw in a new market. The track itself, I don't think is great. Yeah. The racing, I don't think is great. I think doing something like that, like, what if they did it at Rockingham?
I don't know.
Or like,
I'm a purist. I think it needs to come back to Daytona.
But it's been at Daytona. Like they're trying to get something new.
I for some reason I love a lot of things NASCAR does to change it up, but some things just you gotta let. With the All-Star race, you saw they moved to North Wilkesboro. I thought it was a good deal, but when they brought it to where was it Texas? That was trash. absolute trash.
Yeah, it didn't do.
Harrison doesn't know.
I don't even remember the speed weeks in Daytona. You said that we grew up going
speed weeks. Yeah, oh yeah.
You don't remember going down there for 2 weeks to start the year?
I remember.
We went down there for 2 weeks because they raced the first week and the second week.
But I went down there just to chill at the pool and do all the other fun stuff.
Like my first ARCA race that I ran down there, I ran the Saturday before the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
And so we were down there for a whole extra week because that was speed weeks, like the ARCA.
I thought that was nice. I was vacation mode. I wasn't working.
Yeah. I don't know. And they're trying to save teams money, but like think about it. Think about like Legacy Motor Club. They sent 2 cars out there, right? They sent Eric and John Hunter.
Yeah.
John Hunter's made the show, so they got to send the 43 car back all the way to Statesville. Don't tell me like that's more of a cost than just going to Florida.
Well,
right?
think about like Colleague sent 2. Colleague sent 2 Cup cars out there.
Yeah,
and neither of them made the show. So like, what did they make off of that deal? I mean, it cost it like even RCR. The 3 car got sent home.
Yep.
The 8 car ran good, obviously, but like that's
Gibbs car went home.
Spent a lot of money on gas money.
Yeah, that's a long drive to run. What is that track? A quarter mile, and they ran 3 practice sessions, so they ran about 15 miles. They drove out to the West Coast, ran about 15 miles, and came home.
Yeah. Now I appreciate the effort NASCAR does. I really do. I just don't think. I think it's been done now. I think we can come back. Either I'm not a proponent of getting rid of it completely, like some people are, but I wholeheartedly agree with what Dale Jr. said on his podcast that I think it needs to come back to Daytona and call it a day.
You know what, though? What about this? This is just a thought. Why is the Clash, like, if they were going to do it at Daytona or if they were going to do it anywhere else, like on the East Coast where it would make sense, why is it only Cup? Like, being a truck guy this year and having not drove a truck in 2 years, to have like one warm-up race before I go into my first points race, that'd be pretty cool.
I think it would be cool.
Same thing
football
for
does like preseason.
Yeah, same thing for Xfinity guys, or like all those guys that took the jump from truck to Xfinity this year.
I think from a fan perspective, we'd love to hear what our fans, our audience says about that. But I think from an economics perspective, I think that's the only thing that'd be holding up an Xfinity or truck team. Maybe not the bigger Xfinity teams, but I don't know. But I like that idea. I think that'd be great. Will it happen? Probably not. We'll see what happens. All right, so Daytona, we got Daytona coming up. I'm really, really excited, but I'm also just I want this so bad for you. So especially from like the sponsor point of view, I want to make sure the sponsors are really just happy.
Yeah.
A lot of them have never been to a NASCAR race. I want them to be the best time they've ever had in their lives.
I just want to go down there and win the race.
Well, that too.
But that was one, like...
If he wins the race, and then the sponsors come out with me afterwards, we'll have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have a good time.
If we win that race, I'll probably have to do a burnout and just apologize to Grandpa and Dale.
Yeah, I get where they're coming from, but there's something about a burnout that just, I don't know. It's great.
Yeah, because that car, if I win the race with it, people don't understand. Like, when you win a race with a car, it's not just done. Like, it's going to go to Talladega next year too, right? And it, like, you could run it at Atlanta if you wanted to. Now that it's a super speedway, so like,
what's Doug say about that? Is he even?
No, we
burn the tires off.
Yeah, we have different cars. Like, our Atlanta car will be ready by the time we go to Daytona, but just people don't understand, man. I mean,
I need to teach you how to do a backflip. Bring back.
I was just gonna say, you got a signature move yet?
I'm not athletic enough to do a backflip. You know what? I probably am athletic enough. I think I just don't trust myself. Like, my fear is heights, right? If I'm standing on top of the car trying to do a flip off, I got a race next week, man. If I land on my neck. Yeah, I don't know how graceful that would look.
I'd keep the helmet and the harness on, and then you'd be good.
Yeah, that would probably make it sketchier, dude.
That would, but I mean, it'd give you like give you more.
You get
momentum,
top
you know?
heavy when you're flipping. You know
What
I mean?
are you gonna do? You gonna just push Earth, do some push-ups?
Whenever I win, you will see what I'm going to do. I can't expose it right now.
You gonna move in the crowd? What'd you say? The humpback whale?
It'd take you forever to get that fire suit down.
Yeah. What'd you call the humpback whale?
Yeah.
That was.
Do the humpback whale.
He also does this thing where, like, the parents will be on the pontoon and we'll be on the ski boat, and he'll be wakeboarding and we'll be just doing laps. He'll pull out his butt and we'll ride by, but he's like going outside the wake, just mooning them.
Can you imagine seeing Dad just mooning everybody from his truck?
And you know how pacey he is, and like you wouldn't think this, but he does have tan lines, so it's even funnier.
After he said this is a family show, and we're talking about
mooning people.
Yeah, this is supposed to be PG, Harrison.
He brought up the humpback whale.
You told me about the humpback whale. There's something else I'm really excited to give you. Your totem or whatever, your good luck charm for the race.
Yeah, what is it, dude?
You'll find out. You'll find out Friday morning.
What was it?
This. I hope this is a good one, Roland.
It's good.
Because let me just tell you my history with this stuff.
Okay.
Every time that somebody has given me a good luck charm, I've wrecked.
Cole Hughes
at VLR. Yeah, he gave me this. You called it a Buckeye, and he said you got to race with this thing in your pocket, and it was like a nut, like with a little design on it or whatever. So like I run the race, whatever. I start 20th. I drove up to 6th. 4 laps to go, I get spun out. I don't know where I finished. Dead last.
No, you were 20 something.
Yeah, but it was no good, man. I mean, and then the bobblehead did work out for me for a little bit. The bobblehead I ran in my late model stock car, but I had a lucky penny at Daytona that I taped to my seat. I sat on the outside front row. Then my window net fell down. Then I blew a right rear. Then I backed it in the fence.
Well, because you got to put on the dash, man. You can't put on the seat.
Man.
It's precedent. Dale Sr. did it. Austin did it. But this one, this is so unique. It's small, but it's so unique. And you'll know exactly where I got it from. As soon as you see it, it's going to get you to victory lane, right?
Okay. I hope it is.
Your dad will know what it is. I haven't shown anybody.
All right, I already know what it is. He just gave it away. It's an Easter egg.
No, it's not an Easter egg.
Oh.
How would that, how would it stick to the, it's an oblong shape. No, this one's really, he's going to laugh when he sees it. He has seen this thing before, but I kept it. So we'll take a picture for the gram.
Okay.
All right.
Let me show you guys.
All right, let's wrap things up with some fan questions. All right. And these are courtesy of your fan club. Thanks, Mr. Jim Boyle, once again.
Yep.
Let's do this. We're talking about race day. And Harrison, you're more than welcome to chime in since you wore the helmet. Race day superstitions. Uncle Kyle had his lucky underwear. I hope you're not wearing what's left of them.
Who asked that question?
Anonymous. And I'm sure that's the reason why. They didn't want to know.
Race day superstitions. I do not wear my Uncle Kyle's underwear. That is a fact. But I don't know that race day superstitions. I eat a big breakfast on race day because
don't wear green.
Yeah, I don't wear green. I don't eat peanuts. But I eat a big breakfast because I don't want to eat lunch or anything before I get in the car because of the story of DW at Bristol, where he had food come up and he choked in the car, and that was not good.
How about $50 bills?
Not a fan of $50 bills.
As soon as I get a 50, I get rid of it.
Race day superstitions. We pray before every race as a family in the lounge.
Yep.
I really have never really got into like the whole, some drivers will put their earbuds on and listen to music. For me, I like to be there in the moment with all the sights and sounds and smells and everything, like before I climb in and do my job. That's my viewpoint on it. So,
once you get in there all strapped in and everything, I don't know. I like feel like home. Like I would sit there and I'd be like falling asleep until like they start up the car or whatever.
Yeah.
I start up the car. I don't know is there any?
I would agree. Yeah, I mean, like you're sitting in there,
relaxed,
get your eyes closed,
sitting there,
you start thinking.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I do though that you probably never did? Before we take the green flag, I'll go through like 85 different scenarios of what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. I would get out there and I'd get a song stuck in my head, and I'd be sitting there driving and singing. That's
Yeah.
what I would do.
That's what I'm saying. But like, I'll be like, man, if I get a good start, I'll go high, low, whatever, and never really works out how I thought it would.
Yeah.
All right, Roland.
Good answers. All right. This one comes from Mike Peddle in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. See, you got international fans, man.
Mike, thank you for the question.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. Thad, when you finish a race and it's time to drive home, after driving at race speed for a couple of hours, how easy is it to drive the speed limit? We kind of talked about it earlier in the show.
Yeah,
You're a terrible
he never
driver.
drives the speed limit.
I never drive the speed limit, ever. Speed limit is a suggestion. Also,
North Carolina, you hearing this?
Also, I think that like after driving a race, it is really, really hard to slow your mind and body down that much. Therefore, I do not drive myself home from a lot of races.
But have you ever, and like it feels like you're almost like moving slow motion?
Yeah. I mean, I've done it before, and it feels like you're just like crawling.
Yeah.
It feels like you'll be running 80 miles an hour, and it feels like you're crawling down the highway. But Lauren drives me home, or my parents drive me home, or most of the time somebody else drives me home from a race because of the fact that you just – like imagine at Daytona. You're going 200 miles an hour for 3 hours, and then you get on A1A and you're supposed to drive 35 mile an hour back to the beach. It's not going to happen.
Ain't happening.
Ain't going to happen.
I ain't doing it. I ain't do it.
Ain't going to happen.
All right, well, you mentioned Myrtle Beach. That's where our last question comes from today, from Brian Muino. Muino, how would you say that? Sorry if I'm butchering your name, Brian.
Muino.
With a little...
Muino.
That means
something like that.
a yeah. How do you...
I'm not even going to try.
Okay. Well, Brian, thanks for the question. We're going on a trip to a deserted island. Each person can bring 3 things. I'm bringing enough water, food, and shelter for all of us. What you bringing?
Brian, that's an interesting question. If we were going to a deserted island, I don't know what I would bring. My dog.
Something to entertain yourself.
My dog. I'd bring my dog.
Why? Are you going to feed him?
Yeah, what? Then,
dude, that's
entertaining. That's kind of messed up. Your dog's going to be stuck on the island with you.
Dude,
Has he ever?
I question.
And he's a puppy, too.
I question your pet owning abilities.
Why would you not take your dog with you?
He's a puppy, dude. You got to let him live his life.
And it's a deserted island.
Yeah.
What's he going to eat?
Okay.
There's only enough water for...
Dude, y'all are taking this way too far.
Something to entertain yourself with. Like,
let him think about it. What would you do, Harrison? What would you bring?
Something to entertain myself with. That's what I was just trying to think of. Maybe, we're on an island. I like fishing. I bring a fishing pole. Fishing pole.
It's pretty good for
Maybe
survival
a
purposes.
hat so I don't burn to death.
I'd bring sunscreen.
Yeah, sunscreen.
I would.
It's protection from the sun.
Because
wait, he said shelter though. So.
Food, water, shelter. Okay.
Give us one, Owen.
Oh, you know what I would actually bring? I would bring something to build a boat to get off to bring my toolbox.
Your toolbox.
Brian, I would bring my toolbox because, no offense, but I don't want to be on a deserted island in the middle of nowhere for a long period of time.
I agree with you. That was a good one.
When I went through survival school in the Navy, I always made sure you got to actually bring a few things, and one of the things you had to bring was one of these fire sticks and a knife and some rope. That's what I bring. Assuming that, there's no boat material.
While you brought all that, I'd be fishing. Dad be building us a boat. Me and Dad would get out of there.
And your dog. Why would you bring a dog to a deserted island?
That didn't make
because he likes the beach, man. I mean, like,
I don't think you shouldn't have said dog.
What a stupid answer.
It's entertaining, man. I would throw something in the water and he would go get it.
Probably get consumed by some predator out in the ocean.
Yeah, because your dog goes swimming for 5 minutes and gets eaten by a shark.
I don't got a dog, so no, I don't. Did you hear what he did with his dog the other day? He saw it on the ring cam. Knox just opened the door and just sat on the porch. And
Knox was just chilling.
Yeah.
He's just chilling.
Is that all the questions?
That's all the questions for today, gentlemen.
We're going to get some more questions because we're going to get more followers.
We're going to have more. How'd you do it? How'd you win Daytona? That's going to be next week's next podcast question.
Well, our next questions will be racing related.
Well, it's been a lot of fun. Harrison,
real.
It's been real.
It's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. Maiden level cross. See you later.
He said it all.
There you go.
Couldn't say it anyway. All right, what's your pearls of wisdom for the end of the show?
My pearls of wisdom.
My
pearls of wisdom.
Gotta
Let's win Daytona.
That's not a pearl of wisdom,
dude. I don't know. You ask me every week what I'm supposed
to say.
You
got like Bob Barker, spay new to your pets. What you got for the
spay and neuter
Drive
your
fast,
pets.
eat ass, and I love NASCAR.
Dude, Harrison should just be part of he should just be a part of the show.
What should my pearls of wisdom be?
I'm asking you
what
that
is your
question.
pearls of wisdom?
Spay and neuter your pets. I'm going to take it from and have the Lord Jesus Christ in your heart. But what is yours? It don't have to be the same thing each week, but it'd be nice.
I don't know. Pearls of wisdom. Live life like you were made in level cross.
I like that. That's cool. With that, thank you for listening. Be sure to follow the following, right?
Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, give us a review on all your favorite streaming platforms. And
go find Harrison on Instagram. Follow him, all right? Bombard him with DMs. Follow Daily Downforce. And that's it, right? Boy, that was
Thank you for listening.